common denominator.
And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Let's talk about something important. Put that coffee down.
I'm not here to waste your time.
Everyone has access to the information. We just know how to analyze it better.
Where else you gonna have this much fun?
You the man. Todd Father.
Show me the money.
What I've been doing, had to triple my bag. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Yeah. Had to triple my bag.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's no trick to make a lot of money. All you want is to make a lot of money.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Learn Crypto. My name is Nick Hellman.
I'm Todd Butterfield.
Back here from the weekend. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend, and if you are from the United States, hopefully you had a good holiday weekend. I know most of you were probably off yesterday, Monday, so yes, it was nice. It was relaxing. It was pretty good weather here. Did you do anything over the weekend, Todd?
Worked outside more than anything. We just walk our property and hang out with the dogs.
Yeah.
That's all we did. Relax.
Same about here. Didn't do too much. Nothing really crypto related besides personal crypto stuff. If you follow us on Twitter, we were pretty active over there as far as keeping you guys up to date on the news and some trades we were making ourselves. Today we're going to talk about what's been going on over the weekend. A couple news articles, one that is supremely bullish for Stellar in regards to IBM putting out a blockchain settled institutional money transfer network to compete with Xcurrent and Xrapid from Ripple. We got a couple other things as well, including who won the Binance community vote. Bitcoin Gold having a little issues, going to be getting delisted from Bittrex, and is EOS too expensive to develop on? Shout out to everybody in here watching right now. Make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. If you like free coins, we are having a Horizon giveaway today. If you would like to win some ZEN, all you got to do is leave a comment in the comment section below with your ZEN wallet address. That's it. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you're subscribed, and let's continue to grow this awesome community. And we look forward to giving away that one full ZEN to you, currently worth $20 just for being an active community member. Shout out to Chris K9, Johnny M. Cool, Craig is in here, Kevin M. Damn it, James is in here as well. What is going on, guys? What is going on? Mark Lane and Zimmy Jim. Zimmy, you're a little late.
Zimmy Zim. That's live streaming crypto.
You're usually here early. Let's get this started. Let's jump right into it. We're going to have Todd looking at the charts, but that's without being said. He's going to do his thing. So currently, market cap $238.7 billion. Bitcoin dominance is still holding over the 53% mark at 53.1. Today's been a decent day. Bitcoin is still at $7,354, up yet another percent. Slowly inching its way higher and higher. I know it is stressing out some of you who sold at the bottom and anybody who is trying to short this market. Good luck. Hope you're not getting wrecked and liquidated over there. We've been saying for a while, the software kind of found the bottom over there, and hopefully you just continue to dollar cost average into this ecosystem, as right now we just keep stair-stepping higher. Now we do see some red across the top 10 here, but let's scroll down a little bit more. Neo up 6%, one that Todd put a buy on last night, as well as Omis Go up 10%, which Todd put a buy on as well. I'm sure he'll show you guys that charts if you guys missed it, and explain why he was thinking that this was a great opportunity for maybe a swing trade or to bolster up that position for both of these crypto projects. Let's see if there's a big winner today. Bitcoin Dark up 71.27%. Don't get too excited. At one point, it was up 200%. This has been proven to be an orchestrated pump and dump. If you are holding this right now, there might be another leg higher, but I would not be afraid of taking the 70% profit considering we were up 200% at one point today. There is decent trading volume, $828,000. And like I said, guys, there's a whole couple articles written about how this may have been an orchestrated pump and dump with screenshots and all of that. So don't be afraid to take some profits on that guy. We got 10x. The fallen credit card crypto company is pulling an 11.5% gainer today. Stratus up 10.5 and Monaco up 9.73. Shout out to all of you guys holding on to those projects and finding your way through the bear market as of now. Let's throw it over to Todd. He's going to look over some charts.
And Omisigo was on that list.
It was.
Who's your daddy?
He's going to look over some charts, look over the software, see what's going on in the markets, see if he thinks you guys should be buying, selling, hodling, what's going on.
Well, the same 15-minute Bitcoin chart by Elliott Wave. I still think you've got the 1-2 here. From there, I'm having a hard time counting it. I thought this was another 1-2, but that would mean we're going dramatically higher. If that's a 3 here, 3-4, then maybe we're going to slow up here and have an ABC. Obviously, a lot of technicians, maybe the whole world, is looking at this, but they've been looking at it. They look at it back here and got hurt on the break to 6,800. Everyone's calling some type of diagonal here that's going to end ugly. I'm guessing we probably got to end something up here and have an ABC down to scare everybody into being short again. But I really don't have anything with my software showing any reason yet that we're topping. I have no divergences. On sell-offs, we get volume to come in and price holds. All these corrections have been that, so we just, Bitcoin's holding pretty well sideways and then goes to new highs again. So I think that's impressive. So a few of the bigger coins, Bitcoin Cash, the same type of 1-2. It's came much more alive. That looks more like 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe another run to put the wave 3 in, which would then be a sideways affair and then higher highs. Dash. Maybe we've done a 3-wave already. We're doing a triangle and then higher highs. Classic still looked a little good there over the weekend, kind of came alive here, and be a nice place to catch another bid here and get above $15. We're going to have to hope for that because it's still a little quiet. Ethereum, been the real underperformer. Everybody's aware of that. Everybody's trying to trade a triangle pattern down here too. I don't know whether we're going to catch everybody sleeping here and get this thing rallying, because I know everyone's looking at that. Too many people are looking at that, it seems like to me, so I'm not sure. But that's definitely the dog at the moment. Litecoin, still subdividing higher. That one, like Bitcoin on the software, this low look good or this low look good. And now we just can kind of work our way higher easily, it seems like. NEO, the same type of thing. So, I don't know, we just keep subdividing higher. So there's OMG. The arrow was the 442 when I mentioned it last night. Just going through the software, came across that one. Looked kind of interesting. We're going to come back to the software probably here in a minute. Here's ADA, still needs to rock and roll. It's there where we could get a good surge, but nothing yet. Digibyte, same type of thing. The software on it looked like just supporting higher prices. And then let's go down here. XMR still looked higher. That one's holding gains nicely. XLM 5%. Been a little underperforming here recently, but maybe coming alive. It wouldn't take much to get that above 24 and get that one moving. Z Classic, really nothing there either. That one I thought would do a little bit better. There's Zcash. ZEN at 20 has been a slow one as well. But a little bit of strength there from 18 to 21, so further rally there would be good. ZRX setting at 80 cents. So same thing, get above that 84 level that's held it back. So I think, Nick, why don't you run a little bit more news, and we're going to come back and go through the software on some of these things.
Sweet. What's going on over here? Somebody had a couple questions in here, but it was scrolled past. Fred says, finally catching you live. Know anything about XMR? XMR has been running lately. I think that is just, XMR is the best privacy coin on the market as of now. Now, you guys may have heard that there was some large accounts of Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. Some people said they were tied to Silk Road. That's kind of been proved false a little bit, but it was large sums of cryptocurrencies that were dormant for 364 days starting to move. A lot of those funds were moved to Binance. Shortly after that happened, Binance turned off XMR withdrawals. So some people are coming to the conclusion that that individual was trying to mix his coins by sending them to different addresses and buying into XMR to get that anonymity and remain anonymous on those wallets. Now, if they were tied to Silk Road, that would make sense because maybe they feared that his funds would be taken by the government. Now that that claim has been proven false, some people are still linking this XMR price surge to some of that Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash funds going into XMR. Can't verify any of that, can't prove it, but that's what is being talked about over here on Twitter, the Bitcoin blockchain forums, etc., etc. I still like XMR. I've told you guys I've mined it in the past. If you want a large cap privacy coin, I think XMR is a safe one. On top of that, leading into the run, you also had that article that we talked about on Thursday where the guy was projecting an $18,000 XMR price. Now, the price projection itself is not what matters, but the reason that he sees price accumulation for XMR in the future. And that's what we've talked about a lot. Right now, there's currently something called offshore money. People use regulatory loopholes to avoid taxes, to avoid whatever it may be. And that's just the matter of fact. Now, XMR has proven itself to be truly private and truly anonymous. Cannot be tracked. So if you have offshore money, and we really are entering a digital ecosystem or a digital time for finance, maybe storing some of that wealth in XMR is a safe and solid bet. So I think that's what was leading into this recent price spike, that article, plus the rumor of the guy selling a bunch of Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, moving it to XMR, and then obviously everything's just been a little bit bullish here as well.
I think it's tough to trade all the news, rumors, Twitter headlines. I mean, just like what the millions of dollars moving from Tether and this wallet and that wallet. I don't know how you trade all that stuff.
Yeah, the Tether thing. A lot of people were talking about Tether, about, follow the Tether. But the matter of fact is, guys, okay, a guy had 100 million Tether and he moved it. We don't know exactly which exchange. And then if he moved it to BitMEX or Bitfinex, it's like he could be going long, he could be going short, he could be using that as a liquidity pool, a margin pool on his account to make sure he doesn't get liquidated.
And one thing I really know for sure is whatever he's doing is he's trying to screw the most people possible.
Yeah.
He's not going to tell you his hand at the table. So that's why, whatever you think it is, I probably would do the opposite.
Let's grab this and let's get into some news before Todd looks at the chart and starts hammering some of those price calls that he talked about last night. So first, if you were affected by the Octa EX exit scam, this was a small exchange, very little liquidity over there, but they did apparently exit scam. If you had your eBoost, EBST on that exchange, eBoost coin as a project has come out and said they will reimburse any community member that lost their funds. So that is pretty exciting. I know a few people on this in this community had eBoost over there to try to get the Alaris fork and may have lost your eBoost. Now, I don't know about the Bitcoin or any other coin on there, but eBoost has come out and said that you can reclaim that until September 29th. If you go to their Twitter, there's a link there, and it looks like this. You simply fill out your information, what your transaction ID was when you sent your eBoost over there, and they'll verify that with their records on the blockchain. Obviously, it's 100% transparent. This is another great use case of blockchain technology, and they'll go ahead and refund that to your desired wallet address. So shout out to them for standing up for their community and supporting their community, even though they may have lost substantial funds here at this exit scam exchange. Some people always say, what do you mean by exchange risk? You know, they tell me to look into some very small project, and I go, well, here's the pros, here's the cons, but the biggest con for me is the exchange risk. There's no real place to store it safely or buy it securely. It's on some tiny exchange I've never heard of. I would have to set up a whole new account, do 2FA, do all that, which is fine. But the exchange risk is that it could be an OctaX. These things happen a lot. They either get hacked or the exit scam or whatever. They just don't have the liquidity. And that's why you have to be careful. And if you're storing your cryptos on an exchange, I would recommend more secure exchanges such as Coinbase, Coinbase Pro, Binance, Bittrex. Those are ones that have proven to have backup plans as well as far as insurance for some of insurance. We'll put that term loosely for some of its users and clients over on those larger liquidity pools. So keep that in mind. If you lost eBoost over there, at least reclaim that. Sorry if you got hit, if you used OctaX and lost more of your funds, but at least you can get that back. Now, some of the bigger news that was launched today. IBM debuts Stellar-powered blockchain WorldWire payment system. IBM is taking its long-in-the-works blockchain-based payment system out of beta with the launch of a new project called Blockchain WorldWire, aimed at institutions and harnessing the Stellar blockchain network, Stellar Lumens XLM. Big Blue says its new financial rail, quote, can simultaneously clear and settle cross-border payments in near real time. Similar to other blockchain-based payment networks such as Ripple, WorldWire attempts to do away with banking intermediaries that add complexity and cost to the traditional international payment systems. According to a document provided by IBM, the product works by substituting the banking intermediaries normally needed for cross-border payments with digital assets sent over a distributed network. Now, they go on to say that their competition will be Xcurrent and Xrapid via Ripple. Xrapid, as you know, does use the XRP token. Xcurrent does not. Now, they go into here why they also think that they have the edge on Ripple, but understand that this sector is growing and they believe there is room for both parties. Now, the one thing why Stellar went up 5%, but no massive green wick, I believe, is because there's no real word in here. Although they will be using the Stellar blockchain, will Lumens, the native currency, XLM, be used in any way? They do not go in depth on any detail here. So although there has been a lot of good news coming out for Stellar Lumens and XLM holders, as of now, for this news, some of the biggest news for Stellar, they just don't provide enough information for me to act on. Now, I do like Stellar over XRP. You guys know this. I like it for various reasons. I was hoping that when this blockchain WorldWire would come out, they would tell you right here what the finite use of the XLM token was, if it was going to be used for all settlements, etc., etc. They do not do that. I think we're going to have to wait for a more in-depth write-up from the development and company themselves, as this is obviously just wrote by an individual here on CoinDesk. So keep an eye out for that. I'm sure we'll be talking about that here shortly in another live episode. But, I mean, I still like XLM. I'm still holding my bag. I'm not selling on the 5% pump. I think it has a lot of things coming. And if you look at the XLM to BTC chart on the daily basis, I really think it is priming up for a high-level pork blaster up there, a long-term pork blaster that's been brewing. And I like the project. So
pork blaster.
Take a look.
We had one of those in OMG.
Last thing before I throw it to Todd so he can look at the software and any coins you guys want to know what's going on in the charts. Horizon over here made this thing go live. So if you guys haven't heard of the Cred app, it's similar to Robinhood, similar to the Cash app, where you can buy some cryptocurrencies via this application. If you live in California, Massachusetts, Missouri, what is MT? Montana?
Maine.
If you live in any of these... Man, that's terrible. I don't even know the abbreviations for the states in the country I live in. If you live in any of these 4 states and you buy $10 worth of Horizon, ZEN, they're actually giving you an additional 10 for free. So for $10, you're going to get about 1.2 ZEN. Pretty good deal. Obviously, it's very limited, but hey, we're here in St. Louis, Missouri, so I'm going to go ahead and download the app, link up my credit card, and buy 1.2 ZEN for $10, because why not? Maybe that will go towards the pool I have that we give away to you guys. How about that? So check that out if you haven't already. Check out the Cred app, and if you want to double up your money, there's the easiest way to do it right there. That's a freebie trade right there out of Cred. It's 100% banger. Pork blaster.
Banger.
Let's go ahead and toss it back to you, Todd, and see what's going on in the chart.
Let's jump on the software that actually is working to a charm. So this is OMG last night. I was thumbing through the charts, just trying to get comfortable with a lot of different coins. I ran across this, so if anyone has any questions, let's talk about it. But down at the bottom is the blue circles. That's when the oversold 38 or lower technometer reading. You can see if you bought all 4 of those, you actually, the first 2 was kind of at the same levels. The next ones were all at higher levels. You can see that the force in the middle here is trending higher to sideways, so it's not pulling down, which is good for longs. And then you can see the OP, which is the volume. And again, this is 5-minute volume tallied during the day and posted every day. So it's been in a downtrend, meaning there's been heavy sell volume coming in on OMG. So that's a bullish buy divergence because we're selling off on volume, price is holding. So I showed that last night. Then you got the technometer. And then today you get the rally through the top on a little triangle pork blaster probably here. So you've got volume finally coming in a little bit today. And the technometer was at 36, just back to 41. So I would think you hopefully can stay long till we get something like a 50. And then you got to make a decision whether you're going to, look for some type of correction and then higher prices, etc. So I don't think you want to follow all these signals short term. We're all trying to figure out, or I'm trying to figure out major lows here. So there's the same chart, 5-minute, and there's the volume loaded. So you can see that really since for the last month, this is decent volume coming off the bottom, trying to get things going. When the volume came in, then you had price expanding nicely. So I would say that one's higher. And then, for stops, if you're trying to just trade short term, if you bought the 442, you might want to just have a stop there because really these buy points probably shouldn't give away. If so, then maybe we're, back having some trouble or maybe in some type of trading range. So, and this is all on my Twitter last night because here was XMR. I just posted this showing that there's no divergences on the way up. Everything is pretty well in lockstep, which is really what you want for a trend to continue. If you start seeing some type of divergences in harmonious action, then maybe you're starting to run into trouble. Here was Bitcoin. Same thing. Volume has been slow to respond here. But even when, because up here you could be like, well, there's a new high here versus this high. Volume wasn't. That is a little bit of a sell signal. But then when volume comes into the downside here, price just, we had a quick run down to 6,800, come right back. We had to sell here, price goes sideways. So it's impressive how Bitcoin keeps it together even when we have a little bit of sell volume coming in. But the technometer coming into today was really still neutral. So technometer's down here at 43.57. So we're not overbought, we're middle of the range. It looked like even then that we could just work higher. So that's what has occurred. Here was another one I showed last night, DGB. You can see volume at the bottom coming in, continuing to make new lows while the price holds. So that one looked like it could probably still continue higher as well. And then you've got technometer down at 30. So extremely oversold technometer like we had 2 previous times. And you can see the OP breaking down here. So a lot of these coins are doing this. I showed Neo. Neo had the same thing at the bottoms that Litecoin and Bitcoin had. And then when it lets up and you get this positive volume action, price wants to go higher easily. And then you've got technometer 45 there. So those are all really the charts from last night, and these are current as we speak. So if you bring back the Bitcoin daily, and some people are asking on the software, I've said that the software is, is good for me. It's taking lots of requests to gather 5-minute data. I was caching it at Amazon. That ended up being a lot of our issues, so we're not doing that at the moment. That's why the software is working for myself. We had no major issues, just some glitches. So it's not going to be for sale until we get the glitches out of the way. But for me right now, I'm just using it for myself, PCG, and trying to throw a little bit on social media. So there again, there's Bitcoin USD. USDT is actually a little more, the OP's been weaker, but you got a neutral technometer. And again, ease of movement's been to the upside. So it just looks like we can continue higher, I think, still. It just doesn't seem to be anything, you know, there's no divergences on anything, except you do have this high, you know, this big rally and volume is slow to catch up. But I think that's just because we've had so much negative sentiment down here when we made these lows. Because this was a major low in the volume with price holding that 6,300 level after the ETFs were denied. But that's where the rally really got into high gear. And people say, you know, a lot of the shorts came in heavy, I think it was on this day again. They've got hurt again. So maybe not as many shorts, but you know, a lot of people don't know how to trade that short indicator for real. I mean, a lot of newbies looking at that stuff. So, I mean, at some point we got to get the shorts covered, then we got to make them go long. So there's still a ton of buying power out there if this thing stays good. And what I tweeted today was really just like, and there's a lot of people probably on the sidelines that don't want to see a Bitcoin continue higher like it has been, because it's just been slow and steady. I mean, quick sell-off here and there, a few hundred points, and then right back to the highs. So, and so that's really, I might go over a few more charts here in a minute.
Cool.
But I'm going to check these notes here and see what else is up.
We got Kanan in here talking a little bit about Vertcoin and the VertBase, which is supposed to be launched soon. Guys, I do have access to VertBase. Been playing a little bit around with it, so I plan on bringing a video to the community to see if that interests you. Essentially, they're like, hey, we can't get on Coinbase, we'll make our own. It allows for fiat trading to Vertcoin via your bank account or credit card. So should be interesting. Hopefully I can get a video out to you guys shortly. Also, we got Jed in here saying, I don't see cred on my Google Play Store. If you go to getcred.io, let me show you this real quick. Go to getcred.io. You can go over here. They got a link to the buy $10 of Zen, get 10 for free up here. Also, they have a link right here that you can click on to find it on your Play Store. I'm not sure the exact title on the Google Play Store. As I said, I have not even downloaded this yet, but I plan on doing it since I am in one of the states over there. So that is where you can find the link there, Jet. Just wanted to make sure to show you that. What else we got? Not too much chatter going on, so I think it's time to rile Johnny M. Cool up, because we're going to talk about EOS. Now, we all know Johnny M. Cool loves EOS, and I myself feel pretty impressed after doing multiple interviews with two of their block producers. If you guys want to learn more about those, I have one with EOS Detroit in the interview section. This is a longer, more in-depth, high-level thinking process of EOS. And then I also have one with Finch. He is with Cypherglass, one of the 21 EOS block producers. And this is kind of a 20-minute straight to the point, nail out some easy questions, some hard questions, give you guys a good overview of what the ecosystem is all about. But ram it all, rising costs are turning EOS into a crypto coder's nightmare. Read on. Compared to Ethereum, EOS seems to have scalable dApps figured out. We all know Ethereum has been losing some market share to some of these other protocol tokens and is having some issues with scalability, as well as wanting to switch from proof of work to proof of stake. So on EOS, there is no fee to send tokens or call a dApp smart contract. And in contrast to Ethereum, even when the EOS blockchain is processing millions of transactions a day, it runs quite smoothly. According to the EOS white paper, these perks are likely to make the system, quote, gain more widespread adoption, since the ease of use is much better, and the fact that it isn't having these glitchy scalable issues where CryptoKitties bogged down the entire Ethereum network and took it all down. So we'll see what's going on. Sounds great, right? They had a great 1 year long ICO. Scalability issues are great. We've all received a ton of airdrops. If you held EOS in one of their desktop wallets or on Binance, you've got 5, 6, 7, 10 airdrops. Who doesn't love free coins? Yet the grass may not be as green as some dApp developers hope. That's because whereas Ethereum dApps can be costly for the ones using them, EOS dApps can be costly for the teams deploying them. In order to onboard users to an EOS dApp, developers generally have to make sure they've secured sufficient amounts of these 3 separate resources. So it isn't just using ETH as gas, or on Neo you're using gas as gas. You need 3 separate resources in order to develop on this ecosystem. RAM, which amounts to state storage on the blockchain. I think that's poorly named. CPU, which measures average consumption of computing resources in microseconds. And network bandwidth, or NET, which measures average consumption in bytes. Pretty complex. I'm glad it's left to the devs and not just us, the users. Let's read on. So Yuten Chen, the CEO of Panda Fun, a game that recently launched on EOS, you guys should probably check that out because after reading this, they put a lot of money into this, said that the team had to buy 10,000 EOS worth of RAM, around $65,000. The company also staked 10,000 EOS, another 65,000 for CPU, and 1,000 EOS for net. Although Chen made it clear that most of the RAM would go towards an upcoming token sale, saying the game doesn't cost that much. By contrast, deploying a smart contract to Ethereum only costs a bit of gas, whether it houses functionality for a dApp or a token contract. The cost of deploying the Ethereum smart contracts could be anywhere from $1 to $100, but it is a far cry from what it costs to deploy on EOS. Ultimately, that's not only a problem for developers, but also EOS users. For instance, some dApps may begin shifting expenses back onto the users to the extent that's possible. And others might do what would-be dApps on Ethereum are doing and decide to launch elsewhere. As we know, there's a ton of competition up and coming in this protocol sector. So just like I was saying that I believed that Ethereum will lose some of its market share and see some price issues, which it has, maybe some people will start switching from EOS and look to launch on other platforms such as Neo, Ethereum Classic, Lisk, Dragon, whatever it may be. Now, I know Johnny I'm Cool is probably over here in the chat box. Let me know your thoughts over here, Johnny. The fact of the matter is, I kind of questioned this in one of my interviews. Although it's great, there's no transaction fees, and it's cheap for users, is it possible that some of these prices are just a little too expensive for dApps, for some of these developers? Let's be honest, the amount of users on any of these given dApps is not extreme. So the revenue that they will be driving from this dApp, it's going to take a while to offset all of this initial upfront investment cost. Now, if they're bullish on EOS, RAM, and net altogether as individual sectors, well, then it's not so bad. Say your dApp doesn't work out, at least you still have some of the resources. You can sell those on the secondary market as long as the liquidity is there, and you can recoup or actually gain money. But I think it is pretty eye-opening to realize that this one guy right here, Yuten Chen, spent, $120,000 to launch Panda Fun, which I've never even heard of. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comment section over here or in the comment section below. Obviously, it goes on and talks about giving some praise to EOS for the very reasons that were discussed in the several interviews I did with their block producers. So if you guys want to know more, make sure to watch those videos. The airdrop ecosystem is enticing to be a holder. And also the fact their ownership that is built in as well, where you can stake these tokens, is pretty exciting and incentivized me to be a holder of EOS as well. But it is eye-opening that just because they figured out some scaling issues, there is still a lot of cost associated to that solution. What is going on? What is going on? Johnny M. Cool said, do you want the user to pay for the business to build? Hey, I think that in traditional metrics, no, the user doesn't really pay for it directly, but they do over time. But the fact of the matter is, if Panda Fun costs $120,000 to build and host, I mean, at what point do they drive enough revenue from the 10, 20 users they have over there? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, I own EOS. I own it for the airdrops. I own it for the ownership model where you can vote in the governance and stake it, et cetera, et cetera. And I think they have found some scalability, solved some of these scalability issues, but it seems to be on the backs of the developers at this time, and I just don't know if that's sustainable, especially during the bear market. A lot of these devs don't have unlimited funds, and we'll see what happens moving forward. What is going on? What is going on? Jet said, did anyone watch Charles Hoskinson on Larry King? I've not seen it yet. Bitcoin Jetta says he's the reason that he owns ADA, though. There you go. I did an interview with Charles Hoskinson. Pretty impressive. He did go on a couple tangents there about trolls and a couple projects that he didn't really agree with. But overall, I follow suit with his belief of the cryptocurrency ecosystem as a whole. I believe they're really going about things the right way over there with IOHK. And that's why I am invested in all IOHK affiliated projects from Cardano, Ethereum Classic, Horizon with Zen. And the only one I don't actually own is Storm. And they have helped Storm a little bit. They're not directly affiliated with it. But that is one that I got a little insight during that Charles Hoskinson interview. What's going on over there? You got some charts to look at, Todd?
Brought ICX up. Jay Stevens, what's going on? We played your music the other night. We had the Pork Blaster music. Probably should have. ICX looks good here. I still think I'd said this rally here was good off the low with good green bars. So I would think we're doing probably a little Pork Blaster here and can still subdivide higher, as I think all these coins are still going to do. So I would expect higher.
Oh, this coin is gonna pump! Pump! Todd said it's gonna pump!
There's I think it goes higher here. So shout out to Jay for doing the music for us. We got a lot more of those. So we kind of quit doing a lot of music on here. We got the stream deck here. Just don't seem to have time to get everything going. Got too much info to give out here. So that was ICX. WTC maybe. Let's go over that one real quick. A few people asked these earlier. Here's WTC, BTC. Same type of thing, putting in a pretty good low off the bottom. Everybody knows that one got crushed, but I think it can still keep working higher as well. Then we've got EOS over here.
Dang it, James says, I love the new format to this channel. I'm very appreciative to Nick's knowledge of coin fundamentals. There you go.
Cool.
Shout out to you. We appreciate that. We come on here each and every day. YouTube revenue is not very much, guys. It's like $5. But we come here to help build this community, share our opinion and knowledge with you guys, and really just to try to help people. And we gain knowledge from you guys as well. A lot of the interviews I have gotten, Johnny Am Cool actually put me in touch with some of the block producers over at EOS. That allows not only myself to get a more in-depth look to each individual coin, the behind-the-scene fundamentals, but also provide that knowledge to you guys, provide the content to you guys. And we're all on the same journey together,
Yep.
Really trying to make cryptocurrency legitimate, an investable asset class, find some gains, obviously, in USD, but really like to see start using some of these cryptos moving forward as well. So shout out to you guys. Without you guys, we couldn't be here either.
And we're thinking long term. We're not trying to worry about tomorrow. We're trying to stay here when this area really rock and rolls. So, there's EOS. I have to think, same thing. That's a 1-2. From there, I don't know what. It looks pretty solid that maybe this was a 3. Now we're working on some type of 4, which, we could fall easily to $5.80, $6. Not really hurt anything. But if anything, I would probably buy anything down here taking out these lows. Usually on uptrends, you want to buy springs. This was a spring here, springing these 2 lows. If you bought that, those are springs and uptrends. So that was an easy spring down here as well. So maybe come down and do a spring at 620 and then reverse it back higher. Chase it maybe after it reverses. So then let's look at XMR here. I'm on ICX and some of these on the software. I didn't really see anything earth-shattering to show. Here's XMR, same type of thing. Damn, some of those coins look like they just got oversold. And the line of least resistance is higher. So that's all I can say. That's really all I got. 73.72.
Johnny M. Cool says, guys, pick one you really like. And I don't know, I think you misspelled. I don't know what that is. It says, and terrible the devs and head honchos until they have to give an interview. You probably meant to say bug. Oh, terrorize. There you go. And I said, a lot of the interviews come from you guys. Some of them have come organically, like Kanan is part of the Vertcoin team, and he watches the show. So, you know, I've done an interview with him and with James Lovejoy. Others, such as Digibyte, I reached out to them. ZEN, I reached out to them. But other ones people found for me. The EOS ones came from Johnny M. Cool. Chris Canine, I believe, has gotten me an interview or got me to look at co-vesting. So shout out to all you guys. You know, Chris the Ish has gotten us interviews. He's actually the one who started setting up the John McAfee interview as well as Charles Hoskinson. So without you guys, there isn't content. And that's why we appreciate you guys. That's why we give back to you guys with the ZEN giveaways that we have. So if you guys are joining late, make sure after this is over, leave a comment in the comment section below with your Horizon ZEN wallet address. Leave a comment. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. And that's it. You're entered to win. Tomorrow's live show, we will be giving away that ZEN live on the air using a random comment generator. No funny business. Anybody has the equal opportunity to win $20 worth of ZEN simply by just being an active community member, being here each and every day, learning about cryptos, and really just trying to bring some excitement during the bear market. You know, we've started this channel at the start of the bear market. I know Todd can say that too, and it's not easy. You know, we have a crypto private client group. People are losing money. People are in bad moods, so they're trolling. I mean, I have investments as well. I have multiple mining rigs. I'm sitting here watching profitability go down. But, you know, if you believe in the space and you believe in the fundamentals of certain projects, a couple decent swing trades, keep generating that passive income, and we're here to help you guys. You know, we miss a live show, and people reach out and DM us and like, man, I really needed you today. I needed to break up the day with all the red, and that's why we keep coming on. Even on a supremely red day, we can still come on here, talk about some projects we like, have Todd look at the charts, talk about some recent crypto news, and see what, and really try to position this community for the next bull run and the future here in cryptocurrencies. Don't be worrying so much about the $100 swings in Bitcoin, but really start positioning your portfolio and positioning yourself for this next bull run. I mean, I know you guys want to be part of it. You believe in cryptocurrencies. You believe in the price that these cryptos can go to and the utilization of cryptos moving forward. So stop worrying about the short-term trading. Worry about the swing trading. Worry about, hey, how can I make more dollars to put into the crypto market? Right now, maybe you make $1,000 a paycheck. How can you make $1,200 next paycheck? How can you sell some stuff on Craigslist and be like, hey, anything I sell out of the basement that's garbage or trash, I can go ahead and sell that. The wife doesn't even know that money exists. I throw it on Coinbase. Something to position yourself and get some more investment going.
And where else can you see flying pigs, the tree man says.
Oh, that is hilarious. I got a couple more quick news things, no in depth, but wanted to make you guys aware of it. So on Thursday, I gave my conspiracy theory on why I believed GoChain was going to win no matter what. Now, I didn't make a play on that. I didn't buy GoChain for the pump off the news that it won or the fact that it probably will pump when it's actually listed to Binance as well. But I know somebody was like, oh, that's just hypothetical. I'm leaving. This isn't facts. Well, I call it educated opinion because look who won. GoChain did win the round 9 of the community vote for Binance. There you go, guys. Don't think everything is legitimate and transparent here in the crypto ecosystem. We all know Binance, even though they're highly touted, I think their security is great. I use them for a large portion of my trading portfolio. I mean, come on. The dollar still rules, guys. That was a pretty clear cut that Go was going to win that for some of the reasons I gave you on Thursday's live show. And it did happen. If you were a holder of Go, congratulations. You saw a pump on the news that they won. You'll probably see another pump when they get listed. And so it goes with Binance for these 100% pure community votes. I'm sure somebody else just left because I talked a little bit down on Binance. Now for another exchange, Bittrex will be delisting Bitcoin Gold. The friendly GPU mineable Bitcoin fork in Bitcoin Gold now is being delisted from Bittrex. And the reason being, we all know that Bitcoin Gold did have a 51% attack. Some of that 51% attack occurred on Bittrex. Bittrex then lost that Bitcoin Gold. Okay, that's fine. But Bittrex reached out to Bitcoin Gold developers and said they had to pay up and pay up big. 12,000 Bitcoin or $255,000 must be paid immediately to Bittrex. Otherwise, they would delist their coin for the losses that occurred under that 51% attack. Now, I want to ask you guys something. Do you think that Bittrex is liable for the lack of security they had in the loss of the double spend attack? Or do you think it is proper that they are asking Bitcoin Gold for the lost coins to cover the lost coins? Well, Here's a pretty easy terminology that I thought of, or that the guy from Bitcoin Gold was talking about over on my Twitter when we were just debating this. He said, are you mad at the government because they just keep printing the fiat currency, or are you mad at yourself because you left your door unlocked and got robbed? He's essentially saying Bitcoin Gold did create a fork, has created a network, and created use cases, partnerships, etc., but they're not the ones who had the lack of security over on Bittrex. They also said immediately when they noticed that a potential 51% hacker was going on, they reached out to all their exchanges, said, hey, in order to avoid losing funds, you should up your confirmations from whatever it was, say 10 confirmations to 100 confirmations. That way, the hacker and the miner could not maintain the 51% attack long enough to actually withdraw those funds from your exchange. Apparently, Bittrex refused or denied those initial talks with Bitcoin Gold, and that's why they are saying they are not liable. Regardless of your opinion, whether you think Bittrex is liable or Bitcoin Gold, Bittrex does have the last say. They are the exchange hosting Bitcoin Gold. If they are willing to lose out on the trading volume from Bitcoin Gold, as far as the trading fees that they earn from that, so be it. So they will be delisting Bitcoin Gold. So if you got Bitcoin Gold on Bittrex, make sure to move it to a different exchange or to the Bitcoin desktop wallet or any other wallet that may allow the storage of Bitcoin Gold, because you don't want to lose it over there on Bittrex. And the fact that they lost 12,000 Bitcoin Gold, they might just shut that off and be like, oh, sorry, we're keeping it, to try to cover some of their losses. So keep an eye out for that.
Shout out to Sun Scorpio there. That is the gentleman that's got a lot of the interviews for us. And he gets nothing out of it except helping us. So, good dude. Let me have the chart just for, or the page for the second. This is the UUP again. As you know, at the Wyckoff, a lot of people will buy springs and uptrends, sell up thrusts and downtrends. Today could be an up thrust here. You see we had previous resistance. We opened strongly higher, went above it, and closed much off the opening print. So big red volume bar down here. So I think that's interesting. If that is, let's say on an Elliott wave, a 1-2 down, then the bulk of a dollar sell-off is coming. So I think worst case, or best case, is this is probably A down, B sideways, and now we're headed down to 24.50 or something. So if today is the start of that, then I would have to say cryptos are going to stay bid and going still much higher. So I think this chart's important to watch tomorrow and the next day or two.
And Jay Stevens says, any news from OMG seems to be on a tear. No real news that we were following. Todd was actually just using the charting software, the Pulse of the Market charting software, with the 3 proprietary Wyckoff indicators to find that trade. Put out a buy order last night, and that has gone pretty well. So that's about all I can say.
I mean, there was somebody mentioned 1 hour head and shoulders. I don't know. Not sure where they're calling that. I mean, that might be the neck on a 1 hour or so. But I think, to me, that one still looks higher. So
Kanan says VertHash will make rent-to-hack services like NiceHash obsolete. Man, there's a lot of Vert projects coming out. VertHash, VertBase, VertCoin, one-click miner. It's interesting. I know you guys are still working on the lit box with your Lightning Network over there that MIT is working on. We'll see what happens, and we'll see, is VertCoin integrated in any of these projects or gain value propositions from any of these projects, or is it just kind of associated and works within all these projects since the VertCoin devs are the ones building it? That's what I would like to know, Kanan.
Favorite long shots? I guess I would have thought it would have been OMG still. I mean, that's a one that's been cratered. So I guess right here, right now, that'd be more of a long shot for me. Longer term, I still think it's still the usual ones we kind of talk about, the ZRXs and ZENs and ADAs and maybe the EOS, XLM.
Yeah, I like all those for larger caps. ZEN obviously is like, now is all the way up to like top 75, which is pretty crazy because when we first started talking about that, it was like top 300. It's worked its way up all the way to top 75 as far as market cap. Also, I like, as a super long shot, it's like 10 million market cap, I like Linda. We've talked about Linda and Linda Coin. They have master nodes and staking over there. I've shared my staking rewards on Twitter several times. With those staking rewards, you can hold them in Linda, you can buy Bitcoin, whatever it may be, but it's really been a really nice and user-friendly passive income generating coin. And now they have also launched the Linda X ICO, which can only be purchased with Linda as well. So I'm using a portion of my free, quote-unquote, free Linda from staking and getting into another fresh ICO as well. So I think that's really interesting as a long shot as well. I think at $10 million for the type of GUI and user experience they offer, I think that shows that their dev team's pretty solid, and I think they're undervalued at that point. Not to mention, like I said, a 96% ROI for master nodes and something like a 70% ROI for stakers. So can't complain with that kind of passive income.
In front of you is VET. I think that one still looks higher. Same thing. I think a lot of these coins have just been sold out. So I think there's still room for more upside on some of these things.
Somebody asked my opinion on Nano. Now, I think Nano is interesting. Even Charlie Lee, the founder of Litecoin, gave Nano a shout out for its technology as far as micropayments is concerned. But at the same time, it's how much space is there in this ecosystem just for another peer-to-peer digital currency? I mean, only time will tell probably as far as what's going to remain, what's going to be used as far as merchants. I know Nano is targeting micropayments and say buying coffee or bubble tea or any of that stuff. So we'll just have to keep up to date with that. I know there's a ton of good competitors in that space. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Vertcoin, Digibyte, and Nano is right up there. Obviously, that's way cheaper as far as market cap than those. But other than that, I don't have too much to say. If they start creating separate value propositions, kind of like Digibyte has with DigiID, or now you can even say Vertcoin has started to create some of these with VertHash and VertBase. I think their devs need to go out and start expanding the ecosystem in which that Nano coin lives within, kind of like ZEN did by switching from Zencash to Horizon. Now they have 4 separate pillars where ZEN is used across all these projects and all these pillars to start giving it more of a value proposition and a use case, because without utility and utilization of the network, these cryptos are going to die. I mean, it's a matter of fact. You're starting to see some of them die because their treasury system was poorly formulated and in the bear market got the best of them. And you're going to continue to see them die if there's no utilization of the network. Because without utilization of the network, what's the purpose of the utility token? Right now, it's all good and grand. We're in a speculative market. The last bull run showed that. But at some point, it's not going to be an investment anymore. You need to use them, and the use of them will drive the price appreciation. So we'll see what happens.
What's up, Anthony O? I got one here I'm going to give. This is not investment advice, and don't hold me to this one. I just want to throw it out there. AVMXY, Avita Medical. They've got some type of process for burn victims. Highly speculative, I'm sure, but I like this chart down here. I do not have it in my software yet, but I think that one's interesting if you want to take a flyer on a low-price stock. I'm hearing that their equipment is some of the best some people that I know have seen, and said that they think that stock goes a lot higher. So take it for what it's worth, but that might be one you want to look at.
I need to write that one down. I got a little cash sitting over in my 401k.
I don't know. I mean, 85 cents is a previous low. I would hate to see it below there. That's a 50% loss if it doesn't work. But you can see here, I mean, it's had some volume coming in. There's been some good news. I mean, they're starting a manufacturing facility, et cetera. But, you know, I'm getting told from some people that know the product that they have got a hell of a product. And they think it's going higher. So do your own research. But sure, we're here to try to make some money.
There you go. We're a crypto channel, but we also talk about stocks.
We will take money from anywhere.
Hey, if there's any way to make some money off investments, we're going to try and talk about it and get you guys positioned. We all know a lot of you probably get 401k allocations from your job, and obviously you can't just be taking that out and moving into cryptos as of yet until we start to get this backed exchange, Fidelity Custodian, etc. But there's some good stocks out there, even though people are like, oh, S&P's got to crash at some point. Well, there's still ones making moves.
Right. And I manage money at Charles Schwab. So if you got a Charles Schwab account, want us on it, it's pretty simple. You just you tell Schwab you want me as the advisor. I've got the one form to do that. And then we would take over trading there as well. So pretty simple.
I mean, and some crypto-related stocks like AMD and NVIDIA, we've been following those. Overstock, we've been following that. And that kind of draws them together. That draws the traditional finance with the crypto aspect. Square is another one that has been performing really well. I mean, we've given buys on all of those. AMD is like double. It's in the 20s and still looking to go higher. And Square is the same thing. We talked about Square when it was around $36 and $40. I haven't had marks on my 401k, and I didn't even personally even buy any at those prices. I feel like an idiot. It's like we're on here telling you guys some price points to take a look at them. I didn't even pull the trigger, and now it's in the 80s. That's crazy.
What's up, Sweeney? I've never really, I didn't grow up on log charts, so I guess that's the only answer I got for you. Didn't grow up on it. So I'm just, I do switch over to them once in a while and take a look, but I don't do it that much.
And the last thing I wanted to mention was that the crypto exchange Shapeshift, a lot of you may use it, is now moving away from its no account model that made it so infamous, as people didn't want to have to worry about a KYC. They could simply swap it peer-to-peer, no middleman, etc. Apparently, cryptocurrency exchange Shapeshift has launched a new membership program that will eventually become mandatory for its users. Now, they're trying to get people to feel all hunky-dory about it because they're going to give you some rewards and some free coins, etc., etc. They positioned it as a loyalty program, but it still kind of defeats the purpose. The CEO even said it kind of sucks that they are going to have to make it mandatory, but it probably has to do with some regulation. They're trying to remain regulatory compliant globally. But like I said, it just kind of sucks. People use Shapeshift just because there was no membership login, there was no middleman, there was no information. It was simply a peer-to-peer swap, almost like a decentralized exchange swap, easy to use. And now apparently they're adding KYC and membership over there, where your name is going to essentially have a historical database of all your transactions, etc., which I know a lot of people were using it so that you did not have that kind of paper trail. So we'll see what happens with that. A lot of people on Twitter were deeming Shapeshift dead, that somebody needs to make a different Shapeshift. There you go. Kanan, maybe make a Vert Shift, the original vision of Shapeshift. There you go. So some people are already asking for people to start creating other products to compete with that. And I know a lot of crypto Twitter were saying, hey, check out Changely. So I don't know if you guys want to check out Changely and see what that's all about. Essentially, it's supposed to be very similar to Shapeshift, but you don't have to give your information. Here's their Twitter if you guys want to check it out.
What up, Javi?
If you feel uncomfortable using Shapeshift with their new membership, here it is. Changely team, changely.com. So this is what people are pushing people to try and check out.
What's up, K. Archie? She made it. Just Dave. Been a red year. You're right. Been a long red year. Been 8 months of a long year. But we're still here. And Nick needs a haircut.
Yeah, I do. Look at this thing. I got a mullet. So you go business in the front and then just fucking, party in the back.
Coinigy has not started group trading. I mean, I don't think they're going, probably ever going to. The gentleman that was helping me there, I didn't realize it, is the CEO, head developer. They tell me working on it, but there's no ETA. I do have a new place that is expensive, but they are top of the line. I mean, they're a huge overseas company. It looks like if a client would go out and open up 5, whatever exchanges they want, give me the APIs, that I'm allowed to trade wherever the best market is, which means I'd have huge liquidity, because I'm having liquidity issues on stops, like probably anybody is. I mean, when they go through stops, no one's getting any trades done. They just go through them. So I'm looking into that, and would guess at some point I'm going to try to go there. I mean, obviously my focus has been on the software. So I've got that working for me. The next focus is to get it to subscribers, because no one out here that I know is using consolidated volume off of very many exchanges. So I'm working on that. But yeah, the group trading and having been able to hit bids on these coins at any exchange would be off the chain. So it would allow me to actively trade for much smaller movement. Because with the 5-minute data, I mean, there's a lot of, 1 and 2 day trends that you could trade as well. So Kana, my software, I mean, release to subscribers, I don't have a date on that. I'm going to use it myself, use it for PCG. I'm going to still tweet, use it on YouTube to give people some ideas, and then at some point launch it. Well, we're just having issues with caching data because right now I go through thousands and thousands of requests because we're requesting 5-minute data. So if I bring up WWCI at 6-7 coins every 5 minutes, price volume. It's just a lot of data coming from an API.
There you go. The last thing I wanted to bring out was shout out Tor to Crypto. Obviously, you guys might have seen the interview I did with them. Now I've actually kind of gotten on board with their board of advisors, although it's just 100% volunteer.
Did you get your bicycle?
I'm not riding. I'm not riding. That would be embarrassing. That's 100% volunteer work. But if you guys have not been following Tor to Crypto, check them out. I want to give a shout out to some of the communities and cryptos that have got on board. Electra ECA is on board. Aircoins is on board. Unifox. Digibyte, Redcoin, they have all come on board. There is meetings with other solid cryptocurrency projects that hopefully we can announce here in the near-term future as well. Ronnie Mose, you may have seen him on Twitter. He did like a $100,000 donation to the cause. And then last but not least, I guess I should pull him up since, what is it? World Crypto Con. They're doing the World Crypto Conference in Las Vegas, August 31st to November 2nd. There's already 5,000 confirmed attendees. They're expecting to see anywhere between 5,000 to 7,000. Actually donated $100,000 to the charity of choice, which is Hawk this year, and the Tour to Crypto event, which is really trying to bring cryptocurrency to the masses via charity, showing a finite use case of blockchain technology with immutability and transparency for charitable contributions. The event, the Tour to Crypto, is starting in New York, going all the way to Las Vegas, ending here at the World Crypto Conference, where they will also now have their own booth. World Crypto Conference is giving a speaking slot and a booth to the Tour to Crypto event organizers. So it is continuing to grow. That is very awesome. Shout out to all the communities that have gotten involved. If you guys want to get involved or want your cryptocurrency community to get involved and get that publicity, Tour to Crypto's website, World Crypto Con, Hawk's website, they're actually going to be releasing a fully recorded documentary in the first quarter of 2019. So that's going to be released as well. Reach out to Tour to Crypto's Twitter, and Jason Berlin, the founder, will get in touch with the founders of the various crypto coins and crypto communities. And essentially, just to be a community sponsor, if your community raises $1,000 worth of your cryptocurrency, you can now be a sponsor for the event. That $1,000, 100% of it goes to the charity, which is Hawk this year. The founder, all these guys are making $0. I've put my time in this to help them with the website, some opinions, some of the cryptocurrencies that I've gotten on board, etc. I've made nothing. I don't plan on making anything. It's really to just help this crypto economy grow and to show and to get more legitimacy behind the crypto economy. So maybe some of these institutions who are the big players with these non-for-profits stop seeing us all as drug dealers and pajama wearing people who are just chilling, doing nothing, who have no value to society, and really show that, hey, a lot of these communities are strong. These are normal people. Some of the brightest minds are in cryptocurrency and blockchain technology right now. And there's various finite use cases to solve some real world problems we have right now. And the monetary system, of course, being the largest. But you can start small and work your way up, guys. And that's why I decided to spend some time with the Tour to Crypto.
On another note, October 31st through November 2nd, we will not be broadcasting because Nick will be in Vegas with a gifted room and 2 crypto chicks.
Yeah. Is prostitution legal in Vegas? No.
Hey, I don't want to I see someone else ask about the software release. I mean, I'm not pushing that off. I will have a better answer for you, maybe later this week, early next, because we just got to get the caching issue. When I paid for the software to be built, it was, I have a super WebSocket I spent $6,000 on. So it was meant to get it prepared to sell to subscribers. So that is still the plan. So I will get a better answer. I don't want everyone thinking that I'm just not going to launch it now.
Happy birthday to K. Archie today. It's my birthday, 42. Shout out to you. I wish I had the birthday music on here, but I don't. And then Bitcoin Jedi says, what's your opinion on ETC? You must be I've seen your name recently, but we've talked about Ethereum Classic for many months now, how I really like Ethereum Classic. I really think that it's going to continue to grow. The use case is going to continue to grow. It truly is 100% immutable. Ethereum has proven not to be immutable. It is cheaper to build on than Ethereum right now. And they're trying to differentiate themselves for Ethereum because they're not only focusing on smart contracts, but Internet of Things moving forward. Not to mention that Charles Hoskinson and IOHK took 18 months to rewrite all the code of Ethereum Classic to solve some of those scaling issues. And he put something like $1 million of his own money into it just out of principle. You know, Charles Hoskinson was one of the co-founders of Ethereum. Disagreements with the way that Vitalik didn't want it to be immutable with the DAO hack. Ethereum went their own way. Ethereum Classic was born. They redid the code, put in the money and the time to make it a viable platform moving forward. So I like Ethereum Classic, and you know that's just the actual use and fundamentals of Ethereum Classic. But on the brighter side, Ethereum Classic is going to have access to institutional funds, or as Steven's saying here, big money, because it is already on the OTC market with Grayscale. It's now on Coinbase, Coinbase Custody, Coinbase Index. It's going to be on Gemini. It's going to be on others. So that custody and that index level for Ethereum Classic continues to grow. Although it finds itself out of the top 10, any index that says it is going to be market capitalization weighted, for some reason, always seems to throw Ethereum Classic into the mix. So it'll be like, oh, the top 10 plus Ethereum Classic. The top 5 plus Ethereum Classic. So we'll see what happens moving forward. But I still hold Ethereum Classic, and I still... I think I have one of my mining rigs currently on the Ethereum Classic network.
K. Archie's going to get banned.
What is he saying?
She's saying she's still got a crush on Tone Vase. We're going to butter. We're going to nick her. That's what we're going to do.
That's hilarious. Anthony said ETC had institutional funds last year when not other mini cryptos did. That is true. They were put on Grayscale pretty recently. So, yeah.
Kanan made a comment that he didn't have money for PCG, so I am throwing around the idea here that, maybe we're going to take accounts through Binance, and if you fund it with, like, all cash, I want no coins, and if you want to move and shake, then we might open up those type accounts, but we're going to, definitely we're going to more speculative trade. So like on the OMG, probably took half the money. We'd have bought that at 442. Probably hold 2 coins or something. So, and maybe, maybe put like a $5,000 limit on it or something. So that's something I'm throwing around because we're going to have some of those trades, but I just got to I think I got to have everything probably at Binance where we have a lot of choices. And I don't want any positions transferred in. I don't want anybody in love with something. We just want totally left alone and to rock and roll on it. So that's something we might do here in the near future with the idea of having the software.
Steven says ETC is solid for trading, investment. He needs to do more research. I do have an interview with Ethereum Classic Cooperative. Ethereum Classic also came up in the interview with Charles Hoskinson, so you can start your research there if you would like. Also, I think the fact that Coinbase added it as its newest asset provides some legitimacy to the project moving forward. And then Barry Silvert over at Grayscale, they always pump out presentations on why they like Ethereum Classic from a fundamental perspective and a use case perspective moving forward as well. So you can start your research there to get some information.
Anthony said wait for OMG to drop, but I bought some last night. I think it's going higher right now.
I still like OMG moving forward. I haven't kept up to date as far as obviously they're linked with Cosmos and the hard spooning and all that stuff we've been talking about for months, but Cosmos has been continued to get delayed. They are on test nets as of now. So I'm still looking forward to Cosmos coming out and the kind of OMG partnership with that. I think Omisco is a solid project moving forward. It's just been hammered as of late. I think part of that is since the Cosmos continues to get delayed, and a lot of people were kind of linking those two together and really bullish on OMG because of Cosmos. So we'll see what happens here moving forward. But Todd's trading software, no news, no fundamentals, no nothing, was putting a buy on OMG last night. So if you're watching that, you got to bolster up those OMG bags or maybe get your first position, and that led to an 11% gainer today. So not too shabby.
And you got the big green bar, so we shall see. That's all I got. It is 7:44. We've done this for an hour and 15 and having too much fun.
We try to get to as many comments in the comment section. Obviously, lots going on. We kind of have the news articles we want to talk about, the fundamentals we want to talk about, as well as the charts. Then we try to get over to the comment section because we know a lot of people don't interact with you guys, but you guys are just as important as us. So, we apologize if we missed any questions. Make sure to come to the live show tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Central Time to try to ask your questions once again. And if something really you wanted answered or there's a chart you really want us to take a look at, don't be afraid to use that super chat button. I mean, obviously, we're not here begging for donations or anything, but that way we are sure to see your message as it highlights it at the top of the comment box for us. So before we head out of here, make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Leave your Horizon Zen wallet address in the description below, or in the comment section below, I should say, for your chance to win. Yeah, they can get into our video and leave
OMG
description.
And Pundex, I don't know enough about. I need to look into that one.
PundyX is solid. I mean, they're a point-of-sale system essentially that already has the hardware out, and are trying to onboard various projects and get that into stores. I think they had something like 2,000 units that went out. I'm not exactly sure what stores those went in, but they do have a working product. Now, I want to look a little more into it to see the value proposition behind the token itself, whether that is going to be generated in fees, etc. But it's interesting. I do not have a bag currently. I know a lot of you guys do love PundyX, have your bags of PundyX. But that's one I just want to verify some more value propositions before I go head deep. But like I said, they do have a working point of sale system that is being put into stores as we speak. They also created a couple solid partnerships. I think Cardano ADA was one of those where it was going to be integrated into their point of sale system. So we'll keep talking about that as I get some more information.
That'll do it. Happy birthday, K. Archie. We out of here.
Probably about it. We're running a little late today, guys. There's a ton of people chatting. That's what we love to do. But until next time, stay tuned for your daily updates on cryptocurrencies right here at Learn Crypto.
Outlaw Preacher.
Peace. Buy Bitcoin, okay? Just do it. Dollar cost average. Buy that son of a gun because it's going to the moon.
Oh, hey, stay positive, pal. Most people, when they lose, they whine and quit. But you got to be there for the turns. Everybody's got good luck. Everybody's got bad luck. Don't run when you lose.
Play hard. Play clean. Be careful out there.
We'll see you all again. Sleep tight.